When you think about, sort of AI's application at sort of the intersection of, blockchain and AI specifically, do you see where do you see the productivity gains, coming in sort of the largest quantum, whether that's now or sort of in the near future? So where do you think we get the most productivity gain out of the convergence of those two technologies?
I guess the question is, what is a productivity gain? I think today, there's no question that AI is leading. Web2 AI is where the things are actually being made. There's sort of no pretending. Crypto can be a fast copier, but so far it hasn't been that fast, and it hasn't copied that well. Crypto's largely implemented existing stuff and then bolted on money onto it. I think crypto's innovation has been to bolt on AI into finance in a weird way. So virtuals, for example, is kind of one of the most generous ways I think about it. Isn't as an AI agent with money, but rather a financial instrument that talks. Because the core product of virtuals is the token of is the meme coin. And then the meme coin has the wrapping of a personality and the ability to communicate. So you could put the same structure on top of Apple stock, where Apple stock talks at you all the time. If you're on Twitter and you at Apple and the Apple robot comes back to you, not investor relations voice, but I don't know, hallucinates the ghost of Steve Jobs, who criticizes you for formatting things poorly. That's what virtuals is. I think that's an interesting innovation. Does it help with productivity? Might persuade a bunch of people to buy things and distort the market, but I don't know if it's productivity gains. So the real productivity gains are happening in Web 2. They are first and foremost with software development. Something like 40% of all queries on Claude, Anthropic's LLM, are, software development. So it's just massively productive. How does Claude get paid? They plug in a payment processor and they bill SaaS. How does OpenAI get paid? They plug in Stripe and they bill SaaS, and that's how it works. I think other productivity gains are around content generation and video generation and marketing, and that will deepen into interactive gaming, into movies, into experiences, into media. And it kind of goes back to the point I said earlier about humans are becoming agents that coil around AI algorithms, and this is going to only be more obvious. So is it productivity gains or sort of some sort of entertainment attention game? I don't know. So the question is okay, if that's what's happening, that's where the money is made, because these companies are making 50 million ARR after 6 months in market, as opposed to, some teenager flipping a scam coin with a picture of a robot in it. Then how can crypto systems go underneath that economic activity? And the jury is out. I don't know. It is simply not there yet. And we're watching for it. I think the earliest and easiest thing I can see is what Stripe has done, acquiring Bridge and integrating stablecoins into itself, and then plugging that into AI company payments. So I think kind of step one is just doing SaaS, but using stables because it's faster and cheaper. And that's not super duper exciting, but it's great if it works. And I think as more and more machines and robots get connected to these systems, my hope is that some of that will be left to open source and not just to Stripe implementing open source. And then if that's the case, then DeFi becomes the financial system consequent to the payments industry, right? Because payments is the entryway of money in motion into money at rest. So, getting an interest rate on your money while it's between robot jobs is a DeFi workload. not a bank workload. We are so unfortunately far from that being there. But I think me and probably a whole bunch of people out there can see it. Like it's plain as day. But it doesn't mean that it will certainly happen.